What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Tuesday, the 1st of October, 2024. I am Alana Bose reporting for News Source. Here's what we're tracking tonight. President Irfan Ali has announced plans to boost agriculture among young people in Region 5 as part of his government's Youth in Agriculture program, while announcing the construction of a business and innovation center for the region. Addressing scores of young people in the region this morning, the president noted that there are a number of opportunities in the agriculture sector for young people to benefit from, and he also pledged government support. He explained that the government has already set the foundation by ensuring the relevant infrastructure is in place and will be working with the banks to ensure that financing is provided for the various projects to be undertaken in Region 5. He implored the young people seek out a more joint venture business model since it will be easier for them.
And that is why we want concentration of infrastructure. You see, if you have 50 farms in the back dam and you have 50 farmers, it's 50 persons going with maybe 50 different tractors to 50 different plots of land. When we develop these high performance innovation centers of 5 acres and 10 acres, is all of you going together at one area, one location. So the overheads become easier to manage, the concentration of costs become easier to manage.
Meanwhile, Minister of Agriculture Zulfikar Mustafa explained that the government has established a company with young people at its helm to ensure more participation of young people in the sector. So far, he explained, more than 1,000 people have taken up the opportunities.
Today, the agriculture sector, we have an exciting opportunities, not only for farmers, but young people. You can make your living out of this. And this is very important. For the first time, Guyana is producing its own hatching eggs. We start to produce our own hatching eggs. Last year, we produced 27,000. For the first half of this year, we produced 94,000. And the president gave us a target that within another couple of years, we must produce all the hatching eggs for Guyana. Almost 53 million. By next year, here the president, by next year, 53 million hatching eggs.
Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Bank for Trade and Industry, Sean Gurcharan, said the bank is impressed with the increased push in the agriculture sector and will be offering competitive interest rates as low as 3.5% for certain businesses in the sector.
GBTI is heavily focused on, Mr. President. We want to play a big part in everything in oil, yes, for sure. But then the other sectors, we are a local bank, so we understand the value that agriculture brings. And agriculture, as the minister was saying, is not to be viewed in a negative light anymore, but food production is important. Food security is important.
President Ali has been leading an aggressive push for more development in the agriculture sector, especially involving young people. More news in a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. It can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you. The oil and gas industry is helping to transform safety standards across all sectors of Guyana. The government and industry leaders are pioneering safer offshore oil production with new legislation, updated policies, and state-of-the-art floating production, storage, and offloading vessels.
Are you ready to elevate your career with a world-class education from the comfort of your home? The University of Excellence Management and Business, UEMB, Guyana's premier accredited and recognized tertiary institution, invites you to join one or more of our comprehensive 145-degree programs. Registration is now open for our next intake on September 9 and every 2 months thereafter. Enroll now and secure a 50% scholarship. Choose from an ABA, BBA, MBA, MPM, EMBA, EMPM, and LLM degrees, available in 14 specializations. Whether you hold an undergraduate degree, a diploma, or relevant professional qualifications, apply. We are an accredited degree-granting tertiary institution in Guyana. Our programs are also equivalent to a USA Regional Accredited degree. Submit your completed application form, proof of entrance qualification, and any form of ID. For more details, visit our administrative office in the Critchlow Labour College, Front Building, Wolford Avenue, or call 225-1395, 225-1397-9, 618-3434, and 681-3434. Progressing to a degree is as easy as ABC with UEMB. Deal with the best and forget the rest.
I can't wait until tomorrow.
Yes.
Start packing this, yeah?
I ain't start packing yet. Usually I pack a couple hours before and I go. Drive. I got my phone, I got my keys, my charger, my
Procrastinating planning for the future? Well, that's never a good idea. Let Demerara Mutual and Demerara Fire and General help you get started with planning for your future today. I'm with Dem.
Acting Chief Justice Roxanne George on Monday ruled that there was not sufficient evidence to prove that the Vice President Barra Jagdeo discriminated against or breached the fundamental rights of opposition Member of Parliament Catherine Hughes when he referred to her as a lowlife, as the court dismissed a constitutional challenge by Hughes calling for the operationalization of the Human Rights Commission. Last December, Hughes sought a number of declarations and conservatory orders aimed at having the government establish the Human Rights Commission as prescribed by the Constitution. She had argued that the state's failure to establish the Human Rights Commission was a breach of her right not to be denied equal protection benefit of the law as guaranteed by the Constitution. The opposition MP also asked the High Court to declare that the statement made by the Vice President was a breach of her entitlement to equal status with men in all spheres of political, economic, and social life as guaranteed by the Constitution. But according to a statement issued by the Attorney General's chambers, the High Court, in dismissing the constitutional challenge, said MP Hughes did not sufficiently establish a case of discrimination under the provisions of the Constitution, or at all, and that her claim of discrimination on the basis of sex and race in this context cannot succeed. It was also determined that the utterance by the Vice President without more could neither amount to a breach of any of Mrs. Hughes' fundamental rights, nor could the non-establishment of the Human Rights Commission by that fact itself amount to the breach of the Constitution. In arriving at her decision, the acting Chief Justice said the evidence suggests that MP Hughes did not approach the Women and Gender Equality Commission, though it was in operation and provides for, among other things, the initiation of investigations into alleged violations of women's rights and monitoring compliance with international instruments. On those grounds, the court held that MP Hughes' claim was wholly misconceived and without merit. Hughes had filed the case against the Attorney General Anil Nandlal and the Leader of the Opposition, Aubrey Norton. The state was represented by the Attorney General, the Deputy Solicitor General, Shoshana V. Lal, and a number of other state counsel, while MP Hughes was represented by attorneys at law Nigel Hughes and Kishana Jefford. The attorneys for Ms. Hughes have already signaled their plan to appeal. Minister of Foreign Affairs Hugh has expressed Guyana's appreciation to the Commonwealth for the firm and principled support which it has always received from the member states of the Commonwealth in maintenance and preservation of its sovereignty and territorial integrity, as well as the Commonwealth's support for the ongoing ICJ process. During a Commonwealth Foreign Ministers meeting during the UN General Assembly in New York, Minister Todd provided an update on the controversy and the ongoing process before the International Court. The Commonwealth has always been supportive of Guyana in the border controversy with Venezuela and only recently noted that many of Venezuela's actions constitute a threat to Guyana's sovereignty and also serve as a disregard of the Argyll Declaration. The Commonwealth Group has reiterated its steadfast, strong and unconditional support for the preservation of the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Guyana and for Guyana's right to develop the entirety of its territory for the benefit of its people.
Hi, I'm Marlene Street Forrest, Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Join us at the second Regional Investment and Capital Markets Conference to be held in Guyana on October 8 to 9, 2024 at the Pegasus Suites and Corporate Center. Under the theme Financing for Success, where passion, prosperity and people align, we will explore the latest trends and opportunities in wealth creation and economic development. This two-day event promises to be engaging, enlightening, and game-changing. To register to attend, visit www.jamstockex.com or call 876-967-3271. Come and make the right connections.
The Guyana Elections Commission GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Types of transactions. Anyone eligible for registration is required to visit the registration office responsible for his or her area of residence to apply for registration. Persons who are already registered could apply for a name change if they have changed their names since they were last registered. Apply for corrections if there is incorrect information on their national ID cards. Persons who are desirous of conducting any of the above transactions must provide the relevant supporting documents. Persons who are already registered could request that their photographs be retaken if the quality of the photographs on their ID cards is unacceptable. Collect their new ID cards if they have not done so as yet. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, please contact GCOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Monster! Bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that my crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster. Grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Buster, bust the flavors. Buster, bust the flavors.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget, one moment So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
The government of Guyana has inked a $16 million contract with the Bell Textron Company of the United States for the supply of 2 advanced rotary wing helicopters as part of its efforts to strengthen the capabilities of the Guyana Defense Force, GDF. The contract was signed on Monday in the presence of Minister responsible for Finance Dr. Ashney Singh, U.S. Ambassador Nicole D. Theriot, Chief of Defense Staff of the GDF Brigadier Omar Khan, and the Region Sales Manager of Bell Textron Inc., Michael Aguilar. In a statement, the government said the signing of the contract is testament to the strong bilateral relationship between Guyana and the United States and will result in the deepening of cooperation in defense and security. In his address, Minister Singh said the signing also represents another installment by the government to invest significantly in the capitalization and recapitalization of the Guyana Defense Force. It is estimated that by the end of this year, the government would have spent almost $32 billion on investments in capital assets for the GDF over the past 4 years. Minister Singh explained that the investments are targeted towards improving all aspects in the force's operations, Air Corps, Marine, Infantry, among others, as well as supporting surveillance of Guyana's exclusive economic zone and joint service operations. The senior finance minister also used the opportunity to recognize the special and important relationship Guyana shares with the U.S., adding that the signing is another step in further strengthening and deepening relations between the two countries. In her remarks, the U.S. ambassador said the partnership represents more than just a commercial transaction, adding that it speaks directly to the core values and priorities that define the relationship between the United States and Guyana. Ambassador Theriot said the signing underscores their mutual commitment to safety and security. It was pointed out that the Bell helicopters will enhance Guyana's capabilities in disaster response, search and rescue, and overall public safety. Coupled with training and maintenance, the aircraft will bolster Guyana's ability to respond to emergencies swiftly and effectively. The U.S. ambassador said the contract signing marks a significant advancement in the bilateral relationship between Guyana and the U.S. She said the United States remains committed to being a reliable, trusted partner to Guyana, and today the foundation of that collaboration was strengthened. The Chief of Defense Staff of the Guyana Defense Force, Brigadier Omar Khan, said the agreement is not merely GDF pursuing its defense objective to enhance its rotor wing capability, but it also represents government's consistent approach to recapitalizing the force through strategic acquisition and infrastructure development. He noted that the GDF has been operating the Bell brand since the 1980s, with the initial purchase of 5 aircraft during that period. A further 2 similar brands were purchased in 2007, and an additional 2 were acquired in 2021 and 2023. He said while the force only has 1 Bell product in service currently. Last November, one of the helicopters was involved in a crash at an interior location, claiming the lives of 5 servicemen. The findings of the investigation into that tragedy are still to be made public. But Brigadier Khan said the new helicopters will empower the GDF to effectively conduct a range of missions, including search and rescue, disaster relief, and border security operations. The Sol Group has announced that it has signed an agreement with ExxonMobil to become Exxon's licensee for the use of Mobil brand in its network of service stations in Guyana. The move took effect from today. According to the company, as part of the operation, Sol's retail network of 11 service stations will offer high-quality Mobil fuels as they gradually rebrand to the Mobil brand. Drivers in Guyana will now have access to Mobile Synergy Fuel technology fuels, including Mobile Synergy Extra and Mobile Synergy Supreme Plus. The company said ExxonMobil's advanced formula protects engines by helping to clean and maintain the inlet valves and injectors while providing better gas mileage and better performance. Sol's Vice President of Commercial Business Lines in the South America Group, Mark Good, explained that the decision to enter into an agreement with ExxonMobil was highly strategic in nature and reflected the commitment to offer premium fuels through a modern, innovative network of service stations to its customers in Guyana. He said ExxonMobil is globally recognized and known for its advanced technology, innovation, and product quality. The general manager of Sol Guyana, Earl Carabon, said the introduction of the mobile fuel brand represents innovative and new technology for Sol's valued retailers and customers. A mother of two from Good Hope on the east coast of Demerara died on Monday as a result of multiple injuries sustained in an early morning accident along the Lebon-Intention Railway embankment. The dead woman has been identified as Salima Hiralal. She was the passenger in a minivan being driven by her husband, Prakash Hiralal, when an SUV slammed into them, pitching their vehicle into a concrete culvert. The driver of the other vehicle has been identified as a relative of a senior government official. According to a statement provided by the police by Prakash Hiralal, he was driving his minivan with his wife as the lone passenger along the LBI Railway Embankment roadway at around 6:30 on Sunday morning. He said as he drove across an intersection along the roadway, a speeding black motor car slammed directly into his vehicle, sending it spinning out of control and into the concrete culvert. The man said he could hear his wife crying out for pain, and after he made his way out of the vehicle to assist his wife, they were both assisted by public-spirited citizens who rushed them to the Georgetown Hospital. Mr. Hiralal told the police that because of his wife's more serious injuries, she was rushed into emergency care, while he was forced to seek medical care at a private hospital because of the wait time. The man said he sustained a broken arm among other injuries, and it was early on Monday morning that the family was informed that his wife had passed away while receiving emergency medical attention. The Guyana Police Force is still to release an official statement on the fatal accident as the investigations continue.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Where to apply for registration? You are required to visit the registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons in your area of residence to apply for registration. Office hours, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 12 hours, 13 hours to 16 hours 30, and Friday from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact the GCOM on 225-027729 or visit the website www.gcom.org.gy.
What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after four friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. I can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, another important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial and aerial transportation. Guyana has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
Across the region tonight, a gang-fueled social and political crisis in Haiti has swollen the ranks of those suffering severe hunger in recent months, with an estimated 5.4 million Haitians having run out of food and gone a day or more without eating. Of those, at least 6,000 residents of the Caribbean island nation now suffer catastrophe levels of hunger, according to data released yesterday by global hunger watchdog Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, or IPC. Catastrophe or famine-level hunger is defined as having almost no food despite using all coping strategies, leading to starvation, destitution, and death. Those experiencing severe hunger are up from just under 5 million estimated late March. The figure is set to surpass 5.5 million by next June, or about half of Haiti's population of over 11 million, IPC said. In a report, the IPC blamed escalating violence in and around the capital of Port-au-Prince for causing serious difficulties in supplying basic foodstuffs to the region, limiting households' physical and financial access to food. At least 15 people have died in Mexico as a result of Hurricane John, the country's president Andrés Manuel López Obrador has confirmed. The storm first made landfall a week ago as a Category 3 hurricane on Mexico's Pacific coast, southeast of the resort of Acapulco. It then weakened and dissipated over the mountains of Guerrero State before regaining strength over the waters of the Pacific and hitting the Mexican coast a second time, prompting meteorologists to describe it as a zombie storm. Its heavy rains triggered landslides and flooding, cutting off many residents and killing more than a dozen. The term zombie storm was first used by meteorologists from the U.S. National Weather Service in 2020 to describe a storm which dissipates only to regenerate again. On Sunday, President López Obrador said the number of dead in Guerrero had reached at least 15, but local media have put the total death toll across the three worst-hit states at more than 20, with some saying it is as high as 29. Meteorologists said that while Hurricane John blew over trees and damaged buildings, the days of torrential rains it caused proved more deadly. And finally, tonight, international news. Iran fired a salvo of ballistic missiles at Israel today in retaliation for Israel's campaign against Tehran's Hezbollah allies in Lebanon. Alarms sounded across Israel and explosions could be heard in Jerusalem and the Jordan River Valley after Israelis piled into bomb shelters. Reporters on state television lay flat on the ground during live broadcasts. Reuters journalists saw missiles intercepted in the airspace of the neighboring Jordan, and Israeli media reports said as many as 100 missiles had been launched. Earlier, the military had announced that any ballistic missile strike from Iran was expected to be widespread and told the public to shelter in safe rooms in the event of an attack. Iran has vowed to retaliate following attacks that killed the top leadership of its Hezbollah allies in Lebanon. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Alana Bose reporting and encouraging you to have a safe night.